All right, so let's get into Thursday Night Football. I think that's the first thing on our podcast this week. What do you think, Odell or Burrow? Who are you going with to start a team, man?
Well, I'd start a team with Burrow any day. I don't know. Odell's questionable.
I don't know. Yesterday I was watching the game. I felt like Baker Mayfield was playing with like way more urgency than I've seen him play. Like I feel like he's trying really hard to be like the leader of the team, make sure like a couple times like Odell or Landry was like scuffling with someone. He like ran in there and like broke up the fight, things like that. I feel like he's playing with like this sense of like I might lose my job. There's like a new GM in Cleveland. No one's job is really safe because like if if I'm a new GM and I'm evaluating this team and then I didn't pick Baker Mayfield, like I don't really care. Trevor Lawrence is coming up or whoever Justin Fields is coming up, like maybe I like those guys instead. So I feel like Baker is playing with like a sense of urgency, but I feel like Joe Burrow still kind of outplayed him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Baker understands like he's already gone through two coaches. He had a good rookie year. He broke the passing touchdown record. But last year it was super inconsistent. His first game this year was pretty rough, albeit he did play the Ravens. So yeah, all eyes were on him last night. Thursday Night Football, everybody's watching, so he had to put on a show. But at the end of the day, I think Nick Chubb was the one that actually put on a show, and Joe Burrow kind of one-upped Baker.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I mean, like for instance, I think Nick Chubb and what's his name?
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. I think they like combined together for like 100 total yards each. I feel like with that talent on the team, like it helps Baker Mayfield, but also hurts him in the media because everyone's like, if you're the number one overall pick, you got all that talent on the team. You got OBJ, Landry, Nick Chubb and what's his name, Kareem Hunt. Like there should be no reason you should be playing as bad as you are. So I feel like that's why I say I don't know. He seems like this year at least, like last year, like he was pretty bad. Like I feel like last year he did not play well at all. So I feel like this year he's kind of playing like I might lose my job.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like if I'm starting a team right now, the way Burrow has been playing his first 2 weeks, I'm like he kind of looks like the better prospect.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, week one I think he just had one bad pick, but he could have won week one if it wasn't for that questionable PI call at the end. That would have been a great comeback for him too. And yeah, this week, I mean, just you could like there was a point where you're like, all right, Cleveland's got this, and Burrow was like, no, like let me show you what I can do. He brought them back within 5. They could have came back even closer. They had a touchdown taken back, and then they couldn't convert on it. They wound up having to settle for a field goal. So yeah, I think Burrow put on the show last night. And I think last year too for Baker, he had kind of it was kind of starting to become his team, but then they brought in Odell Beckham, who almost kind of set a higher standard. And I think Baker tried to force things and just couldn't live up to that expectation.
Yeah, I think last year with Freddie Kitchens, I think you're right. They kind of kept trying to like, oh, let's use our firepower, let's use our deep threats, with Odell Beckham and stuff. And I felt like they were trying to force the issue. Whereas I feel like yesterday, in that Thursday night game, Odell, he had I think like 74 yards receiving, that long touchdown. He also had another one he was interfered on, and then they just didn't call shit because the refs always miss the blatant ones for some reason. Which his numbers could have been even higher, but it almost felt like Odell is a guy who seems like to me like he really cares about his portrayal in the media. I feel like he cares more about his like stats and how it comes off versus like the actual team win. But that's also like maybe the way the media portrays him. More media always portrays him like a me guy, not like a team guy. But to me, he always seems like he's like one of those guys that like if he gets 100 yards receiving, he'll look at his team like that was your fault. You know what I mean? Versus like I didn't help the team win as much as I can or something. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the way he kind of the energy he brings or the way he portrays himself. I feel like his days in Cleveland are numbered. Like he's already been like rumors of trades, rumors that he's not happy there. Maybe Baker Mayfield's not clicking with him, and he's demanding the ball. I don't know. I just feel like his days are numbered in Cleveland, even though he had a decent game yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm sure that that long catch and that win definitely helps things calm down for now. But before that, I mean, there was news stories from, sources in Cleveland that were like they're looking to shop him around. And yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before they start losing again and these stories start coming back up.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, especially with their division, they got obviously Lamar Jackson in that division, Big Ben in that division, and now Joe Burrow is looking promising. And then it's like Baker Mayfield was promising his rookie year, but now he's falling off. And I just feel like if that GM does like Baker Mayfield, if he's like that's his quarterback of the future, I could see him shipping off Odell Beckham if he doesn't fit in there for extra picks, another wide receiver. I don't know, but I feel like his days are. I mean, I kind of said earlier.
I think Odell Beckham coming there was almost forced because Landry was kind of there, and Landry tried to, because Odell was kind of unhappy in New York, and I think Landry made a big push to be like, hey, that's my bro, like get him over here so we can do what we did at LSU, but things just aren't working out like they did at LSU.
Yeah. I could imagine Landry had some influence there, but I would hope not. I'd hope the owner would be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll listen to my players, but I don't know. It was, I think, at that time, I think it was a good move. I just don't think it's working out.
I mean, this is the same owner that gave Hugh Jackson a second chance after going
0-16. Yeah, but Hugh Jackson like dove in the Lake Erie and shit. Remember
that? Exactly. After that, he still kept his job. I mean, come on, man.
Fucking Michael Phelps, Lake Erie, and fucking still kept his job. But on the other side of that, speaking of receivers, I feel like Joe Burrow, he doesn't really have it. Like they had him throw 60 times yesterday, and that's like brutal for a rookie QB with like literally no offensive line. Like to me, I think that's why he is going to be good because the people around him really aren't. Like his line was awful, but he has really good pocket presence. He has Joe Mixon, AJ Green. He's just a shell of himself. I don't know if it's like he's coming off those 2 years of injuries, but he was elite. I just don't think he is anymore. And I think it kind of shows. I mean, he was going against Denzel Ward, but he really didn't do much yesterday.
Yeah, I think he was targeted like 16 times, and he only caught it 3 times. And a lot of those were catchable balls, especially for a guy like A.J. Green, who's been that top-tier receiver. He's not what he was before. I mean, yeah, you can say Joe Burrow might have thrown it behind him or something, but those are catches that A.J. Green normally makes. And a lot of them were bad drops. Even like a lot of his other receivers, Tyler Boyd was dropping them. I feel like his only reliable targets were Joe Mixon and the tight end that just got hurt, Uzma or whatever his name is. He's out for the year, so there goes his favorite target. So him still being able to make things happen with questionable talent around him, aside from Joe Mixon, I think that's speaking highly of Joe Burrow. His pocket presence was good. When he escaped, I don't think he realized the NFL talent, at least not on the one play where he tried to pull a spin move. And
oh, yeah, he B-buttoned that shit, and then he got fucking clothesline.
And he got a welcome to the NFL hit on when he was strip sacked. He got the ball stripped and then just got rocked by, I don't even know who it was.
Yeah, so and that's one thing too is like he's doing well and taking those hits and stuff like that, and he's had no preseason. It almost makes his performance seem even better. The way I look at it is like if Cleveland, like when I was watching that game yesterday, I felt like if Cleveland had Joe Burrow, they would have like easily won. And if Cincinnati had Baker Mayfield, they would have got blown out.
Yeah, it's hard to say like switching quarterbacks and how they would be in different systems, but statistically and just from what we saw last night, I think that's a pretty good assumption.
Baker, in all honesty, he had a really good game, one of his better football games. But I just felt like after that performance, it really wasn't anymore about how Baker Mayfield played and the Browns got a win. It was really about the future of Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. So that kind of speaks volumes.
Yeah. I mean, all the storylines today are like, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are taking over the NFC North, and nobody's like, Baker Mayfield's there too. He was just a first overall pick, a few years back.
I feel like Baker Mayfield this season has like got to win games. Otherwise, I think his status as a starting QB at Cleveland at least will be in jeopardy. But I don't know. I don't follow Cleveland that much, but just usually how the NFL goes with new GM coming in and evaluating his team. When you envision how you want your team, you know what I mean? he might envision Baker Mayfield as a starting QB and like, hey, we still got him cheap, but chances are if he doesn't, he's gonna go find his guy.
Yeah, I think once there's kind of a regime change, people don't want to, work, or they're more reluctant to work with people that are already there because that's what's failed. So they try to keep the talent and try to get their leaders in. And if Baker Mayfield doesn't fit that kind of leadership role or that winning role that the new GM envisions, then he's on a short leash.
Yeah, for sure.